Get ready to be captivated by the incredible true story of Nemo, a German Shepherd war sentry dog who displayed the ultimate act of bravery by putting his own life on the line to save his wounded handler. This true story of heroism will leave you wanting to hear the story from beginning to end, as Nemo battled through horrific injuries to keep his handler alive. But the story doesn't end there. Tragically, 3 other sentry dogs and a handler lost their lives that fateful night. It's a powerful reminder that our 4-legged friends also serve and sacrifice their country, and their bravery deserves to be honoured just like any other fallen hero. From start to finish, Nemo's story will leave you with a renewed sense of admiration for the unwavering loyalty and courage of these incredible animals. During the Vietnam War, thousands of heroic military working dogs were sent to serve alongside American troops. However, when the war ended, only a fraction of them made it back home. In fact, only 200 of the more than 4,000 dogs sent to Vietnam returned home or were reassigned to other peacetime assignments. The rest were euthanized, left behind, or died of disease and starvation. The use of these K9 teams in Vietnam was critical in defending their air bases against attack, particularly at night when infiltrations were more likely to occur. The deployment of K9 teams, including Nemo and his handler, Airman First Class Thronberg, was part of Project Top Dog 145. During the Vietnam War, the Air Force trained dogs to be sentries, and most of them were former house pets. Nemo, a German Shepherd, was one of these dogs. He originally belonged to Samuel Cooks Jr., who lived on K.I. Sawyer Air Force Base in Michigan. Before coming to Vietnam, Nemo attended a special sentry dog training course at Lacklands Air Force Base, where he was picked up by his original handler, Airman 3rd Class Leonard Bryant. In January 1966, Bryant brought Nemo to Vietnam. He was then assigned to his new handler, Air Force Airman Bob Thronberg. Thronberg was a young man, just 22 years old, new to the dangers of combat. But with Nemo by his side, he felt a sense of security, a feeling that he could face anything that came their way. In December of 1966, Tan Son Nhut Air Base experienced a mortar attack by the Viet Cong. As part of the attack, around 60 Viet Cong fighters managed to breach the base's perimeter barbed wire fence. However, they were unable to proceed any further as they were fired heavily by the defence line of the 377th Security Police Squadron. The event that altered Nemo's life began in the early hours of the next day. He and his handler, Airman Thronberg, and others were on patrol at Tan Son Nhut Air Force Base. The horrors of war were all too real as they patrolled the base, searching for any sign of the 60 Viet Cong who attacked just the night before. Nemo's sharp senses were on high alert, his body tense with readiness for the slightest hint of danger. 4 Viet Cong managed to evade detection by the previous search parties and were hiding inside the perimeter of the base. The responsibility of uncovering them fell on the sentry dogs and their handlers, and Nemo was certainly trained to do just that. As it was the early hours of the morning, it was still dark. As they advanced with caution, their search abruptly came to a halt when Nemo alerted them to the group of hidden Viet Cong. "Keep an eye on them," Airman Thronberg instructed, as Nemo's muscles tensed in preparation for action. Then with the command to "Get him!" Nemo pounced fiercely towards the enemy's hideout. With Airman Thronberg in hot pursuit, ready with his weapon, Thronberg discharged rounds rapidly. The sound of gunfire filled the air as the enemy attacked. Thronberg was hit in the shoulder, the force knocking him to the ground. But Nemo was still fighting, taking a bullet to the nose and another one to his eye. Despite his injuries, Nemo refused to give up. He continued to fight, buying Thronberg precious time to call for backup. And then he did something extraordinary. He crawled on top of his wounded handler, refusing to leave his side, guarding him with his life. Nemo's bravery had saved Thronberg's life, but it was clear that the war dog was in dire straits. He was badly injured, and it would take the skilled hands of a veterinarian to save him. Whether it was a minor injury or major surgery, all received first-class medical care. The vet performed skin grafts on Nemo's face, removed his right eye, even had to perform a tracheotomy to help him breathe. But despite losing an eye, Nemo's other senses were even more acute, his hearing and sense of smell heightened. Unfortunately, that night 3 Sentry dogs, Rebel, Toby and Cubby, died, including one airman, George Beveridge. Beveridge became the first Air Force Sentry dog handler to be killed in Vietnam. Sadly, there were many other handlers and dogs to also die in action during the Vietnam War. Thronberg and Nemo were reunited one last time at the base hospital, the handler scratching his beloved companion's neck as Nemo leaned in close. It was a moment of pure emotion, a testament to the bond that had forged between a man and dog through the horrors of war. Nemo's bravery and sacrifice would never be forgotten. He was celebrated as one of the most heroic members of the US Canine Corps, a reminder of the sacrifices made by both human and animal in the name of duty, honour and love. Melvin Bryant, who coincidentally had the same last name as Nemo's original handler, Leonard Bryant, took Nemo home. Nemo retired from active duty and became the face of K9 Corps, helping to recruit thousands of dogs into the service. He died in 1972 at Lackland Air Force Base in San Antonio, where his kennel stands as a memorial. Eamon Thronberg received 2 Purple Hearts and a Bronze Star medal. He underwent 5 surgeries over 7 months to repair his shoulder and suffers from chronic pain to this day. He went on to earn a degree in agricultural drafting and worked for Duke Energy until his retirement. His memorial is inscribed with his name, serial number and a message that says, "In remembrance of Nemo and his faithful service to the United States Armed Forces, may all who hear the story of Nemo know the true measure of man's best friend."